Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Israel here. It's my first video officially on this new channel, and I think it will be interesting to start with just talking about SEO entities because I'm talking about this a lot on my social media, and I just want to elaborate what it is because a lot of people think that entities are like just keywords that they see in their content optimization tools like Super SEO, and that they can just work with that and okay, cool, I'm optimized and I'm ready to be ranked. No, that's not really work like this. Yes, those tools will absolutely help you to optimize your content to be SEO friendly, but it's not enough if you want to beat the competition being a topical authority. Okay, that's what matter now. And when you reach that level to be a topical authority in your niche, you can outrank almost anything, even if your dominant authority is lower. I don't say that backlink is not important; they are still super important, but you can probably lowering your backlinks amounts using a good proper structure based on Google topics. Okay, so let me talk about entities. You have Google topics, which is the real terms, which is also Google Knowledge Graph. So Google Knowledge Graph use Google Topics algorithm, which is based on many entities. Yeah, I know you are confused already, so let me just explain further. You have Google Topics, you have entities. Every entities are not Google Topics, but every Google Topics are entities. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, now you are confused. It's fine because I will explain you, okay, what it is. So when you are using a tools like Surfer SEO, okay, you have a content optimization tools that propose you important keywords that most of them call them entities because they are entities, and most of those tools are using the Google NLP API because it's cheap, it provides good data. The only problem with Google NLP is because it's really limited in the amount of data it can analyze and provide you. Of course, Google doesn't want to give you all the answers, so it will provide you some data but not all. So it's where it makes all the difference using third-party tools and not just Google to find the real entities. The Google Topics, especially because it's where it's really matter when you want to become a topical authority and optimize your content properly. So I will explain you. I think the best is to make a test using the Google NLP API because it's what will provide you in most of content optimization tools, and I can explain you further the difference. So let me just show you here. We have Google NLP API that you can use their demo to scan any content. So I would just go on my site, take one example here. So let's take my keyword research articles. So I would just pass this here to get to see what it will provide me as informations. Okay, so now I have a list of entities. So those are important keywords that are related to Google topics based on Google algorithms. Okay, so they are relevant to articles according to Google. Okay, but the problem is they are not all Google topics, and if you want to properly structure your website and schema, you absolutely need to know the exact Google topics for your articles, your site, your niche, etc. So let me give you an example. Okay, first, the entities to be Google topics need to have a dedicated Wikipedia page. Google stated in an article a few years ago when it integrated BERT that it was using Wikipedia and Wikidata as database for their Google Knowledge Graph algorithms database. Sorry, that is also Google Topics in other word. So let's see. We look at the keywords query here, if I go to Wikipedia and I look at keywords, I have an entities that is called keywords no plurals. So this are Google topics. This one is a Google topics. That's a good entities. Okay. But let's go further. Example, SEO tools here. If I'm looking for SEO tools, oh, I don't have any page to for that. So SEO tools is a good entities to include in my content. Of course, I'm reviewing SEO tools in my content, so it makes sense. It's an important entities. It's an important keywords to have in my content. Of course, I have, but it's not a topic. So I could not. It doesn't make sense to create example. If I have an article about best SEO tools, okay, I could not use SEO tools as entity for my schema. It will not work. I will have an error, and because it's not the topic, I cannot use this as a main category on my website. It just doesn't make sense to use this because it's not an official Google topics by Google. So if you want to be a topical authority, you have to match your website structures to match the Google topics database. And for this, you make sure to have every entity, okay, as Google topics that have a dedicated Wikipedia page. Okay, I will give you further examples so you can understand better. If you look at my site, I have multiple categories here. Okay, so I have link building, affiliate marketing, and SEO, which is search engine optimization. So if you look at Wikipedia, I have an entity that exists for search engine optimizations. All right, I have one that exists for link building, and I have one that what is my third category? Sorry, affiliate marketing. Sorry, I have one for affiliate marketing. So I have all my top menu, which are my main category of content, are Google topics. Okay, so when Google see my content, see my top menu, and see all that my sub articles that are in my main topic, affiliate marketing, you will understand that everything is related to that entity. Okay, because I will also include it in my schema just to make sure that Google is not confused. Why schema is important? I will give you a good example. If you look at my site, I have SEO. Okay, so when you visit this this category, what SEO means for Google, it means a lot of things. For us that work with SEO, it's clear that SEO means search engine optimization, but that's not necessarily one sure things for Google's to understand that SEO means that, because let me explain you. So if you look here and I'm looking at the entity SEO, it exists, but it means a lot of things. First, it means search engine optimizations. It means also many organizations. It means people, places, and many other use. So for Google's SEO is like too wide as a topic because it means too many things. So for me, if I really want to optimize my article for the right entities, I need to associate in my schema the right entities, which is search engine optimizations, not SEO, search engine optimizations. Okay, and for this, me and Max, we have created a tools that is called the EntitySticker.com, or Entities Swiss Knife for the name, but the domain name is EntitySticker.com, so it's really easy to remember. Which you can analyze and URL to get the entities, the good entities, and or just the text. if you want to analyze your text before publishing on your site and just prepare a schema before clicking on the publish button, you can also with the text. But let me show you now how it make it efficient to use our tool, because really we are working hard on this, and it provides really amazing results on the ranking. Seriously, it's just crazy. I have a few started sites because, as you know, I have sold on my sites 1 and 2 years ago, and I started from scratch early this year because I wanted to improve all my soaps, so all my SEO strategies. I have looked back and changed a lot of things, especially on the content side, and improved also my link building strategy, that now I include entity in my titles and even anchor text. It really make a huge difference. I tell you, it's really crazy. So it's why I'm taking the time today to talk about you about this, because I really believe it's a game changer for me and could be as well for you. And it's work everywhere. It can work for affiliates, just content website, local SEO as well. So it works everywhere. So it's not just for affiliates. So it's really, I think, something that you should adopt now. Okay, it's not new. It exists. I think since 2012. So like 10 years ago. But it started just to get some adoptions recently, and now people realize how important it is. Maybe the recent algorithm has made further improvement with the entities linking, how Google is detecting what is relevant or not, because maybe it's why entities work so good now. Maybe it's just recent, but anyway, everyone talk about this now, and it's with a reason. Okay. Uh, what I wanted to show you, yes, the entities, the tools. So if I'm looking entities tools here, I would just put here my role, because I want to know the entities that are relevant to my articles to generate a schema. Okay, I want to make sure that when you will visit my content, it knows what are the topics that are covered by my articles. So it's with the schema you can do that. So schema are super important, because if you optimize your content for the right entities, because you did your job, you make an analysis on the SRP, you are sure that your article is properly optimized. But sometimes you can have some doubt for Google algorithms to detect exactly what is you can about, and you can just improve this accuracy using schema, because you give the answers to Google, so you just avoid the guess. And okay, I guess that Google will understand perfectly, but in some cases not. Google is not smart as you maybe think. So it's why schema really just remove the chance to uh, to make Google just doesn't really understand correctly what you have on your page. So put your help there. Important for the schema integration to extract the ID. I will come back on this on another video, because right now I just want to talk about entities and all they are important. But in my guides that is incoming, I will have specific guides, video guides as well, that will explain how to use that features. But it's something you really need to use. We'll click on submit. And now I will explain you what are the about and dimensions field that you need to carefully select for your schema generations. Okay. So like you see, it detect a few schema for my schema ID, different schema identity for my page. And in my case, it's the article schema. If you use rank math, Yoast, whatever, most of the time it will be, it will generate automatically article schema. It can be also blog posting, depending what you have selected. So it's just important to select the right ID that represent your web page. Okay. because like you see, it includes a lot of stuff like web page, breadcrumb list, what is the website. Those are schema entity based on your whole website. So we really want to focus on the web page. So what is the content, and it's really everything in the article ID. It's everywhere. Okay. So the about entities, it's where just look at the quality of the data it's provided you. It's just you could not get better entity suggestions, and they are all Google topics. So no gas to have to look manually on Wikipedia if they exist. They does. Okay, they are all Google topics, and you can all use them for your schema. And also backlinks. I will just go back to this later. Okay, so I have choose my ID, which is the article ID, and in the about entities I will select the core topic. Okay, the main topic. So what I do is, if you look at my articles here, it is in my silo search engine optimizations, and the core topics is keyword research. And I'm lucky because I have a Google topic that is especially for keyword research. If I will not add this one, I will probably go with keyword. If that makes sense. I will just have to read Wikipedia description and make sure that it's accurate to what I'm trying to represent on my page. But I'm lucky I have the keyword research entity right there. So what I will do, I will search search engine optimizations, and then I will use keyword research here. Okay, so the strategy to the schema generation is use in the about sections maximum of 2 entities. I recommend 2. If you believe you are really a big article and you have more than 2 main topics that you are covering, you can add more, but I prefer keeping this at 2, which is my silo, the topic of my main category, in that case search engine optimizations, and the main topic of the content, which is about keyword research. So I have this here, and the mentions entities are all the topics that are mentioned in the article. So they are also important to show to Google what I'm talking about, but they are not the core main topic as I will use in the about section. So just to have a quick, just to show quickly, you can see straight my table of content. It's what I use most of the time to have a good idea of what my content is talking about, so I don't have to read all the article to generate my schema. I just look at the table of content, and from that I have a good idea of what I could use in my mentions. So like you see, I have a few things that are mentions like intent, clustering. So let's see what I have like as Google topics that I can use for this. If I go back here, if you want, you have a table here which show you according to our algorithm the most relevant entities to your articles. But those are an algorithm, so I always suggest to really filter them by your judgment. What is for you making sense to include, and what makes sense for a user that read your articles. So just don't straight use the most relevant one and take like the top 5. It's not how it works. You already have to take some time to choose them carefully and make sure they are properly optimized for your content. Okay. In my case, the grid was really good because it suggests me the most relevant are the one I need to include in the about, but it's not always like this. Okay, so like you say, I have a few entities that I don't really talk about, like backlinks. For me, it's not something that I will include in my schema because it's more about keyword research and not really about the off-site side of SEO. So what I'm talking, of course, I'm talking about Google search because keyword research, we need to analyze the SRP, etc. So it's really a good, I just want to go back to this. It's really a good entity, but be careful because if you search for Google, You have also the entities Google, but you don't make the mistake, because the entity Google, if you look on Wikipedia, let me show you. Google is the entity of the organizations, so the business, the company. And you know, Google has way more than just a search engine. They have cloud hosting, they have a lot of stuff. So it's not a good entities to choose from article. And I always try to scale down to the most relevant one for your selection. So really take the most relevant. And for the mentioned entities, I recommend something like between 5 to 7 maximum. If you have really a big article, you can go above this, but in average, five is a good number. So yes, I have Google search. I have also search engine, because when we do keyword research, we want to optimize for search engine in general, because we'll have traffic for Bing's, DuckDuckGo, not just Google. Okay, so it's a good mentions. I talk also about clustering, and I think content marketing could be also an entity, but I don't really cover this in my articles. Not enough to use it as a Google topics covered by my article, but if I will have, I will include it as well. Uh, so now you have long tails. So we have all in mind long tails keywords, but it's not this. So just be careful and always double check when you are not sure. If you just look at the entity on Wikipedia and just read like the first paragraph and see if it's related to what you think it is, because sometimes it is not. So like this, you see that sorry, it nothing about long tail keywords, the popular terms we use in the SEO industry. So it will not be a good entities to choose from. Research, it is a good entity because it's the core concept is about researching for keywords. So yes, we mentioned research as well. Yeah, clustering, like you see here, keyword clustering. It's so you can scroll down to see your suggestion and see how many frequency and relevant scores, and it can try to help you to find if you have some doubt important entities. Like you say, you have air blog, could be also really a good entities, because we do keyword research for blogging. So like you see, it's you have a lot of options. So once you have selected your important outbound entities and the mentioned entities, you are lucky, because we provide here the exact schema codes that you can include in your site. So you just have to select, download, import, and you have two ways to do that. You can do it with Rank Map Pro, because it supports custom schema, or you can also use our home plugin that you just have to import and order your content in WordPress post page edits. At the bottom, you will have a section where you can just copy paste codes, and it will integrate in the right ID, which is article, blacklisting, whatever you are using. Okay, so why it's matter is when you work with the right Google topics, that you know that they are really true Google topics and not just straight entities that you could choose randomly from the data from Google LPPI, or just from any tools you are using to optimize your content. You are sure that your topics match Google Topics database, which is super important, because there are no confusions. You are straight working in the same paths that Google is working. So the algorithms match exactly the data from the algorithms match the data provide on your website. So there is no confusions, and Google is just better at understanding your content. And why it's matter is Google want to show the best content for its users. So if Google has a doubt that your content is not really relevant to what the user want to see from its query, you can make sure that Google will rank someone else that he have a better understanding of his content. So it's why using the schema, you really remove any confusion possibility, and you make sure that Google will understand your content. And it have really it make change to your ranking. It will provide a lot of improvement because you have straight answers for Google, so you don't have to guess what your content it is about. I have provide here just an example of how entities are powerful. Like you see here, it's a website that I have started in July. So the way I have worked, I have prepared 30 articles to have a good structures, etc. And I have built my website exactly like I did for my personal blog. So every top topics are a core topics, and I have even subtopics to this. And the structure is perfectly optimized and match the Google Topics database. And like you see on my pictures, I have set the website to index at mid-July, and it started to index a few days later. And look at the result, and look at the domain rating. I did not build any backlink. Yes, over three months, I have built a few a few links with arrow just to build my brand presence and increase a bit my branding authority. But I don't have, like you say, I have 24 referring domains, and I think 75% of this is probably scrapper because I did not get that much links from arrow, something like 8 or 7, something like this. But look at the traffic increase. Actually, 3 months later, my website has reached 150 visitors a day. So I'm already on the path to having 4,000 visitors per month after just 3 months. And I have made my first sales yesterday. Okay, so it's pretty cool because it's on a fresh domain name. I don't have any authority, and I have ranked super fast, and I have already started to generate revenue with the website after just 3 months. Why? Because I have used a proper structure with the entities. So it's why I really want that you take the time to make further research on this and try to really integrate this in your procedures, on your strategies, because it really make a difference. I was not a believer of schema and entities for years. I was just, no, it's a waste of time. I don't believe in this until I do it and realize that, okay, it's really game changer, and I realize it now. And it's not that hard. You just have to find the Google Topics before sending your content to your writers. Make sure that they are covered in your articles. And once your article is published, generate a schema, and it takes like 2 minutes per article. It's not long. It's worth it. And what is cool is when you integrate this in your backlinks, because I did. I started recently to start backlinks on my starter site, but using Entity, I'm doing this for a few months already. I did it for a few clients, and the result is crazy. They have amazing results. I don't have email because I did not think to generate this before the video, but I could do later a few case study on this. But using Entity, Google Topics, just make sure that we don't just use one of those entities. They really need to be a topic, so they need to have their page. But using them in your guest post titles, it's the relevance is just crazy, because you have the Google Topics in your content, you have it in your schema, and then you have it in your backlinks. So Google's, when it detects your links, okay, it's a relevant link, so it won't in your head. When you just create a backlink like this, like with link insert, a random titles, whatever, you leave Google's to its own algorithms to detect if it's relevant or not. So you have again to guess. So just remove the guess factor, and you will have a lot of chance to your ranking, because you have straight answers for Google, and Google know that, okay, that's relevant because the entity are matching, the backlinks entities are matching with the content. And even if I had a doubt, I have a schema that confirms it. So I'm sure, go pass the link juice. So it's really, it makes a difference on backlink, it makes a difference in content, it makes a difference everywhere. So yes, I do. I use entities everywhere now, and I'm glad I did it because it's a game changer for me. Okay, my 3 website that I have started, I'm sure that in probably 1 year they will be worth 6 figure because they grow so fast and I have really good result, and just cutting with content and backlinks, and the revenue will follow. And then so what I wanted to show you also is the power of ranking using entities, because if you look at my image, look at the keyword difficulty, my ranking, and the CPC. Okay, because you can generate revenue with advertising, and the CPC is a factor. So the higher the CPC you have, the more revenue you will generate with ads. So like you see, I'm ranking for really competitive keywords. Most of them, you will probably just not target them if you will just use the keyword difficulty metric. And okay, 30 keyword difficulty keyword for a brand new fresh domain name. You is stupid enough to target this. Me. And glad I did it because I did not care about the keyword difficulty metric, and I explained it in my article here. If you did not read my article on keyword research, take 30 minutes to read it. It took me over 2 weeks to write it. Look how I goes in deep on this. I really take a lot of time writing it, and it's completely the way I'm working is exactly like this. So if you read this, you have my strategy, and then add entities to this, and you will have amazing results. I promise you. Recently, I have also write an article about guest posting, how to build backlinks effectively, and I cover as well the entities in that article. So have a look as well. You will have great information there. Um, so yes, so like you see, I'm ranking already in the top 10 of many keywords, even if the difficulty is high. And what you need to understand as well is all those keywords, I have the relevant Google Topics entities that are injected in my content and in my schema. So it's clear to Google that my content is about this, and it's probably why I'm ranking so fast. And when I will add backlinks to this, I started this week, but I will see the result in a few weeks. It will just explode because I will have all the factors. I will have the on page and the off-site factor that would be merged together, which will just generate crazy result on my ranking as well. So yes, so the tools is EntitySticker.com. If you want to analyze your own content to generate schema, you can opt for the URL analysis section. And if you want to look at the entities gap analysis features, you have to subscribe. Just give your email, it's free. You will receive your username and password. And how it works, you put your main keyword in the tool, you choose your regions, so United States, United Kingdom, whatever you are based or you are targeted, and you select your competitors, and it will generate all the entities that are used by competitors and your site as well, and you can compare which one you don't have or which one you need to add. And if you prepare a new article, what I do is I select the competitors, and in the tool, I just make sure to say, okay, give me all the important entities that has been used by at least 3 competitors out the one I have selected. So if I have selected 10 competitors for my keywords, it will just give me the entities that has been used at least by 3 out of the 10. And so I adjust the important entities there. copy paste the list. I remove the one that doesn't make sense because yes, it can happen. And then I send this to my writer, which he import this list in Surfer SEO because Surfer SEO has also a feature that you can import your own keywords that you want to optimize your content, so you don't have to double check in two different tools. So it's really convenient. So that's why I like Surfer for this. So you would have Surfer that will suggest you the entities proposed by Google NLPs, and you will have, in addition, the entities generated by my tool. So you will have a perfect combinations of entities optimization doing it that way. Once it's done, you generate this schema, you add this to your content, and then you have a perfect optimized content. And for backlinks, what it works, you just have to take all the entities you have generated in your schema, so the entities in your about and mentions, and you target with your guest post links those entities. Start with the about one, make sure that the entity is included in your guest post title, and then continue with the mentions entities, and add this in all your guest post link. So you will have your entities that will be everywhere here, so that will be really a good result, really. And then I have you, so I just want to give you a quick, yes, it's just a blah blah, so I know it's long, 36 minutes, but let's continue because there's something I want to explain you when you do niche research and you have to structure your website using Google Topics to do it like I did for my website and how I did it for all my affiliate website. And like you know, I am a fan of camping. I don't have a website now. I had in the past, I sold it. Probably I will start a new in the future because I really like that niche. But for now, I don't own him. I don't own one. But I think it's a good example of how you can structure your website using Google Topics. So how I do it when I do niche research, I really like to use Wikipedia because it's like the core concept. It will give me all the important subtopics to my niche, so I can structure my menu, my silo based on this. So like you see, if I want to become a topical authority, I need to cover everything that is in Wikipedia because it's related with Google Topics database. So you can go arrive on your site and see that you are covered the main topics, which is the camping, and all the subtopics that are here. We'll talk about it really in the upcoming minutes. It will understand that, okay, that's an expert. He covered all these subcategories and topics and he covered everything. So, okay, this guy is an expert. I will favorably rank it better over the others. So when you get the topical authority level, that's really where it makes a huge difference. Okay, so let's say that you have an affiliate website in the camping niche. So let's just create. I like my role, by the way, to create mind maps structure. It's really cool. It's fast as well. So let me just let's say that you own campingguides.com, whatever. It's not important. So that's your website, and it's about the niche camping. Okay. Well, I would just put camping here, which is the main niche. I think it's just easier to. Let's put big this. All right. So you have the main niche, which is camping. Okay. And you have to go to Wikipedia and you look at all the relevant subtopics. So you have tent, recreative vehicle, and those make sense to add them in topic silo on your website because you have a lot of content that for tent and RV vehicle. So if you make some keyword research, just anyway, if you make some research on those topics, you will see that you have a lot of keywords, so you can generate a lot of content. So for me, if the subtopics, I can have a lot of content, I will use it as a main silo, okay? If you have like just 5 to 10 articles, probably I would just use as sub topics depending on what is the niche about, or I would probably just drop it in a random category that fits it or whatever. So in that case, I have tent, I have RV, so perfect. So I can create my main category. This, so I have recreative vehicles, RV, which is it would be a main category. I would just change the colors to make it like stand up to the rest. And then I will have tent. There's a lot of keywords related with tent. I know because I own a camping site in the past, but yeah, probably easily 50 articles that you can write about tents. So yes, it's a good main topics. Just continue to uh, to follow all these subtopics that are related here. Uh, you have state park, of course, state park, and where we do camping in state park. So that's really a good topic. I could probably review lots of state park here. Yes, of course. So state park makes sense to be added. So state park, it's another category I could cover. Then I could have kayaking, canoeing, could be subtopics to camping, but could be better to add those in like a website that is more about outdoor. So the main topic would be outdoor, and then you could have subtopics that could be canoeing, kayaking, climbing, fishing, hunting. That will be really great subtopics to the niche. But if I want to stick really focus on the camping niche, those for me are not a good fit. They are too much wide. That will be too much difficult to become an expert in all those subtopics because they are all too big. I don't want to be an expert in the outdoor niche. It will be possible, but that will take a lot of time, really a lot of time. And my game is not to keep a website 5 years of time. It's I really keep like 1 year and a half, 2 year, and I flip. I'm a flipper. I grow them fast. I generate revenue fast, and I flip, and I make my money like this. So it's not my goal to become an authority in a so big and wide niche. So it's why I'm niche down and trying to focus on niche that are smaller, but I can get the topical authority faster. And so yeah, it's why we continue to look at the different topics there. Let me just go back here to see if I have something else. Okay, so you have air, canoe camping. You could make some research to see if you have enough content for these specific topics. Otherwise, what you could do is just create a category camping and create a subcategory canoe camping. Okay, because you have lots of content for camping, it's just crazy. So that will be what I would do personally. Uh, glamping. Glamping, I think, could be really a main topic because it's a bit different than the normal camping because it's more luxury, etc. And you have a lot of content that you could cover as well. So yes, I could probably cover glamping as a main category here. And just like I have explained you, what I could do is, of course, I have my main category, which is camping here. Okay, that's the website, that's the main niche, but I still need to add the silo for camping. And like I told you, I could have a subcategory here, which I will call let me go back here. How they call this? Canoe camping. Yeah. Canoe camping. And I have also, I seen here, no, okay, just canoe camping. Perfect. So I will just put the different colors. So that is a subtopics to camping, because I doesn't have like 100 articles just for this. So I won't create a main topics for this. So I will use it as a subtopic instead. Also, you want to that your website stay have a clear navigation. So you don't want to have 10 topics in your top menu. So really try to put this down and having less choice, but just really keep the biggest topics here, and so make it well organized for this. And then I think personally that could be enough. Like you see, campfire, it's that will be a good subtopics as well to the main category, because I know that there's a lot of content that can be right on campfire keywords. So for you, you can just make a quick research, and you will see easily that it's a popular keywords topics for camping, like how to start campfire with rocks, whatever it is. And then yeah, list of common equipment. That's something that you could niche down with project review, make money with this. So what you could do is create a category. There is no entities for camping equipment. So like you see right now, we have main article which is called hiking equipment. So in that case, that would just be fine to have a main category called equipment, even if it's not related to an official Google topics, but also category will be associated to an entity like you see here. So I will have 10. I prefer to keep it as a main topic because there's so much content for this, because I know this. But if you would prefer, you could instead here, you could like just change this for equipment, and you could then create your subtopics for all the entities for this. So like you could have tent. I have seen first aid kit. So like you see here, you could look at everything that is relevant. Sleeping bag. So you could do this that way. So what I'm trying to explain you now is that if you structure your website using Wikipedia subtopics, it's like you create your website in the same way that Google will see it in a perfect world. So if Google see your website that match exactly all its databases create, it's like, okay, cool. I save time. I don't have to analyze it. I have the answers. So yes, perfect. It makes sense. So it will be how I will personally structure my website based on entities, or if you prefer Google Topics, which is the official terms, because I don't want to keep it confusing for people. But it's how you can do with it. Just look at all the subtopics that are associated to the main topic and use this to build your structure. And when you have done this, you will inject the entities for every category. It needs to make sure that Google understand the category and then the projects. So in that case, if you have the entity state part here, if we scroll down where we have seen it, state park, it's here. So State part is an entity for, so in your category you will inject the JSON codes for these entities. And what you could do is you could probably uh, cover the if your website cover example the United States, you can then look at the entities US state, and you will have a lots of state area that you can target in as a content, like best state part in Alabama, best state part in Alaska, and then you will include the entities as about, like state park, which is the core subtopics of your category, and you will include the state here. So you will include example the entities Alabama for your article, best state part in Alabama. So I think you understand the principle. So it's not that complicated. You just have to understand the concept, and once you get it, you are really ready to build any websites and create a structure based on the Google topics and the entities. So it's how I do it now. It's why I don't really like now buying existing website. I do it sometime, but I prefer starting from scratch because I can really structure it properly from day one. So I prefer this. But it's up to you. You can still convert any website to this. It just it take more time. But yeah, that's how it should be done. Look at Wikipedia. Make sure that if you are making niche research, start with Wikipedia and niche down the subtopics to build your silo on your sites. And for the right entities to optimize your content, I really invite you to use the entities Swiss knife tools at EntitySticker.com. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. It's me and Max that are giving this for you for free. So just take advantage of this. The data is amazing. You have seen the results I got here. It's using the exact same data from the tool. So you can really have similar results if you just follow the advice I've given you in the video. So that's it for the first video. I hope you have liked it. I will probably create more video in the future. So if you want to click on the subscribe button, you will just be aware when I post a new video. Okay? Goodbye, guys.